Lamar Jackson doubts that defenses have figured him out. And it's not him so much as it is a Ravens offense that relies on his incredible skills to run the football. Defenses pivot toward focusing on that. The challenge now for the Ravens is when a defense is poised to stop Lamar Jackson, can he pivot to throwing the ball? I think back to the first game of the 2019 season when the Dolphins decided they're not going to let Lamar Jackson run all over them. What happened? It was Hollywood Brown down, gone. Hollywood Brown, gone. Throw the ball because you're stacking the line of scrimmage. Well, it's not quite that simple now. But, Chris, I just think that's where the Ravens offense is. And it's not a Lamar Jackson indictment. No quarterback can run a one-dimensional offense. Whether it's all passing or all running, you have to balance it out.
Yeah, balance,
and I think that's what the Ravens are trying to do.
You're right. They're balancing. I mean, yes, we know he has to continue to evolve as a drop-back pass quarterback. But it's not like it's alarming. That's where I think people and the haters on social media need to back the F off a little bit. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's not like figuring out Lamar Jackson. I was shocked by some of the stuff I saw on social media, like this, and even comments on your article, everything about it. Like, people's
don't read those.
I know.
Don't.
There's a lot of stupid. I almost want to become a member so I can comment on to some of these comments. But like, you said it right. It's not about figuring out Lamar Jackson. What do you mean? That's Lamar Jackson's still fast as hell. He's as hard to tackle as anybody in football in the open field. There's nothing to figure out there. It's on the Ravens to continue to evolve the offense and stay one beat ahead of defenses and what they're doing. And that's on them. You know, I get sick of that. Yeah, okay, yeah, he's not going to be able to run and make highlights every week and every game, especially as we get in the playoffs and things like that. But we saw the Titans game. He made some big runs. In fact, he made the run of the game and made a few other runs to close out the game later on. So, like, yeah, oh, yeah, he's figured out. We blitzed him on the edge. Yeah, tell me how that worked. Like, yeah, that was good, like, good scheme and everything, but you can't stop him. You know, and everybody's got to stop putting everything on Lamar Jackson for the Ravens. They got $1 gazillion on the defensive side of the football. They're allowed to shut some people out in the playoff games, too, and stop some people. Tennessee Titans, Bills last year, all those type of things. So I think it's, like, way too critical. And if the 49ers can go to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, okay, and the Rams can go to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and where else should I start? I mean, I can go on the list just down, down, down. The Ravens can go there with Lamar Jackson. That's insane. They just have to continue to fine-tune the offense to where, yeah, when it's really great defenses, it can't just be on Lamar making plays by himself and doing stuff. They got to make it a little easier on him and be a little more schematically creative, to your point, in the pass game and the run game. And then it'll be, oh, it's hard to defend Lamar Jackson again. It's on them to do this.
When you have a quarterback that is that supremely talented, I think there is a temptation by the offensive coaching staff to just kind of step back and get out of his way and let him do his thing. And there is a comfortability in that, which borders on laziness that can creep in because, hey, we got Patrick Mahomes. Just let Patrick go do his thing. We've got Lamar Jackson. Let Lamar go do his thing.
Yeah, right. And then the backup gets in and they reinvent an offense and have all these creative plays, which you hear me say sometimes. And I go, well, why the hell didn't we give those plays to Mahomes or Lamar Jackson? I mean, it's a great point by you. Sorry to cut you off. You get me excited.
But I think the obligation is when you have a guy who's that good, it's an even greater challenge to get the absolute most out of him and take advantage of his skills as the spark to come up with plays that will catch a defense flat-footed as it's scrambling to get over to the edge to contain Lamar Jackson. You know, what if he stops, takes a step back, and fires the ball over everyone's head? I mean, there's so many different things you could do as an offense instead of just rely on Lamar Jackson to do what he does best. He can do other things using what he does best as the lure to get the defense in a horrible position. That part of it's not that complicated.
No, Mike. I mean, you're exactly right. All great quarterbacks in the history of time, for the most part, have had these type of things, these advantages. You know what? I mean, Brady, come on. I mean, the whole league knew at one point he's going to throw the ball 5 and 10 yards over the middle. What did New England do? They found a different zillion ways to screw with defenses and make it easy. And, okay, we'll play in the realm of that and figure it out that way. Oh, wait, they're getting used to our Wes Welker, Edelman short passing game. Hey, let's get Gronk and Hernandez and stay ahead of the curve so Brady still looks great. Now we're going to have 2 tight ends. We're going to run the ball. We're going to put you in all these situations. Like, it's on the team themselves to evolve. I mean, when you have a talent like Lamar Jackson, like the whole league is always going to study that to a degree. They're going to, one, because they're going to go, wait, how do we defend this and him and what they're doing with him on offense? But then second to that, I think the biggest thing here, Mike, and I know you and I have talked about this before, we see a ton of teams running the Lamar Jackson runs now. So teams are getting to practice and go. You play the Saints, you got to get ready for Taysom Hill. You play, Josh Allen and the Bills, you got to get ready for a few quarterback design runs. You got to do that. Oh, it's Kyler Murray. Oh, wait, they got a handful of those too. There's a bunch of teams in football that have that element. Of course, the New England Patriots with Cam Newton. So teams are getting to see that type of offense. They're going to get comfortable, defenses defending that. It's on the Ravens to figure out the next move. And I think they're doing that and trying to do that with the passing game and the receivers and, like you said, and hopefully some more creative run game design stuff too to help Lamar out.
Hey, and it's on Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator.
Yes.
And if he doesn't figure it out, and you look at the history in Baltimore under John Harbaugh, the revolving door has spun fairly regularly at offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Not with a guy like Jim Caldwell, he ends up becoming a head coach, but Jim Caldwell got the opportunity in 2012 because Cam Cameron got run out the door. Others have been shown the door, and there's a level of performance that John Harbaugh demands, and if he doesn't get it, you're going to be gone, and he's going to go find someone else. And, come January, he could be interviewing candidates, and the first question, and maybe the only question, will be, tell me what your plan is for using one of the great quarterbacks that the NFL has seen over the past 20 years. So I think you and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
This isn't about figuring out Lamar Jackson. It's about figuring out the Ravens offense, and the Ravens now having an obligation to anticipate what defenses are going to do and use that against them to do something else.
Yeah, and continue to push him to evolve as a passer and up his game. Those are the two things. That's what it is to me. There's no doubt. And, I think they're a smart group and know what the hell they're doing, and hopefully they realize that there needs to be a little bit more offense and schematical advantage if they want to win some of these big-time playoff games.
And, Chris, one last point in that regard as it relates to Jackson. To the extent he has designs on playing deep into his 30, there are 2 Steves he needs to keep in mind. Steve Young, Steve McNair.
Yeah.
At some point, your game's got to pivot away from relying upon your legs, and you got to become a pocket passer. You got to do the things that Teddy Bridgewater now does, where you see him moving around subtly in the pocket and staying within those confines. If you want to play to 35, 37, 39, at some point, that's what you have to be.
Yeah, you do. And we're seeing that. I think we've seen that. Yeah, he's going in that direction. He knows he's not going to be able to run 4.3 and around the corner in year 7 of his career and be the same guy he is right now with the last few years. He realizes that, the problem is he can still do it. So that at times he's going to go, wait, this is what I've always done. This guy's not open. See ya. I'm out of here. But, man, we have plenty of evidence all year last year of him standing in the pocket, trying to do the right thing, making the appropriate throws, and he has burned some teams with his right arm. Again, too, they're not exactly like the greatest show on turf as far as their offensive schemes in the pass game. And we've talked about even at the end of the last year about, is there somebody you can feature? They started getting the ball to Hollywood Brown a little bit more. I just think that's where the offense has to grow, with the continued evolution, like I said, of Lamar. And, yeah, everybody stop putting it on Lamar all the time. Come on. What did the Bucs do last year with Tom Brady? Oh, wait. He's not good when we're in empty sets and he might not be protected and they're blitzing in. Wait. People figured out Brady. They figured him out. Oh, no, let's keep extra tight end in to block, make him feel good. And now when we get one-on-ones, he'll just dice them up that way. Oh, yes, wait, they didn't figure out Brady. He won a Super Bowl, right? So that's where it has to go, and that's what all quarterbacks need an advantage of to a degree. There's a few out there that can kind of make it happen no matter what. That's why I always argue with Aaron Rodgers. There's never been an evolution of anything. It's just like, hey, it's the same offense for 20 years in a row. Just keep making it happen. And that's why I think he's so great in a lot of ways.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.